Nightmare. Story rewritten. Alright, everyone, this one's wild. I came across it on Reddit and had to share it. Let me just say, some men don't instantly sense betrayal when it hits. Sometimes it takes a moment, sometimes a spark. But eventually, the truth finds a way. Buckle up. This one's intense. It all began on New Year's Eve. I'm a 38-year-old man, and I was out of town with our two daughters, ages 3 and 7, visiting my side of the family for the holidays. Everything had been going smoothly. The girls were happy. The trip was peaceful. That was until December 31st. I called my wife, she's 34, to check in and let the girls say hello. She was supposed to be off work by then, having only opened the store earlier that day. But from the moment she picked up, something felt off. The background was quiet. Too quiet. She claimed she was still at work because they had a contract job to fix something at the store. But she works in retail, and anyone in retail knows they don't schedule repairs during a major shopping holiday. It didn't make sense. Still, I said nothing. I let the girls talk to her and tell her about our day. Then she told me she was planning to hang out in the parking lot with some coworkers until midnight. Now, keep in mind, it was around 3 p.m. at that point. Cold outside. Sitting in a parking lot for hours in winter, weather didn't sound fun or normal. It rubbed me the wrong way. But again, I let it go. Around 9 p.m., I figured we'd call again, different time zones and all, so the girls could say Happy New Year before bed. I called. Straight to voicemail. I texted. Messages didn't go through. Now I was worried. If she was just outside, why was her phone unreachable? My first instinct was to call the police for a welfare check, but I held off. Instead, I texted her mom and sister. We all had each other's locations shared on iPhones. Her sister replied. She couldn't reach her either. But she did say my wife's phone was pinging in the next city over, at a house. Panic set in. Then I remembered something. She had let our daughters bring her iPad on the trip to watch movies in the car. That iPad was synced with her messages. So I opened it. There it was, a text thread with a coworker. A 28-year-old guy. For days, they'd been messaging back and forth, planning how they'd spend New Year's Eve. They were clearly excited, making plans to go watch fireworks, something she always claimed to hate, and even talked about going to bars where women dressed provocatively, which she always disapproved of with me. But with him, she was enthusiastic, suggestive, flirty. At this point, her phone was still off. I had sent message after message, all unread. Eventually, I deleted them and checked her location again using the iPad. I watched her arrive home around 3 or 4 a.m. I hadn't slept a wink. I copied the guy's number from the messages and decided to text him, pretending to be a random person. I was hoping he'd slip up and confess something. He didn't. The next morning, she finally called. She wasn't apologetic. She was mad that I had texted him. But when I calmly told her what I knew, she switched to defensive mode fast. She claimed it wasn't just the two of them. Said other managers were there too. Swore nothing had happened. But I couldn't confront her directly. We were still a few days away from returning home. So I tried to believe it was a one-off. I hoped it wouldn't go any further. Of course, that was wishful thinking. Arguments followed. My anger grew, but I kept it controlled. I'm ex-military, so I know how to restrain myself. Still, she told me that the guy was afraid of me because of my background. Once I got back home, we tried talking things out. But her story was full of holes. On January 6th, I was at work and couldn't focus. The whole thing gnawed at me. I wanted proof. So, during lunch, I decided to head to Chili's, where she claimed she hadn't eaten on New Year's. But I knew she had picked up food. I figured he must have ordered it, and I wanted to confirm if it was just for the two of them, not a group. But on the way there, I changed my mind. Instead, I drove to her store to ask her to lunch, to talk it out calmly. When I arrived, her car wasn't there. At first, I thought she stepped out. But then it hit me he lived nearby. So, I drove to the house I'd seen on her location on New Year's Eve. And sure enough, her car was in his driveway. I called. Texted. No response. So I took off my wedding ring, placed it on the hood of her car, took a photo, and sent it to her. Told her she could give it to him. That finally got her attention. She started texting, but refused to call. I told her if there was really nothing going on, video chat me right now. She didn't. Later that night, she claimed she had just gone over to bring him coffee. Said she was trying to smooth things over because she still had to work with him and felt bad for how she'd treated him. But she didn't sleep in our bed that night. She waited until I left in the morning to shower and change. She claimed she was too tired to get up, despite me waking her several times. Here's the ironic part. While I was at the guy's house earlier, I saw a cat in the window. I'm allergic to cats. He had one. The next day, at home, I went to the closet to grab clothes for a shower and started sneezing like crazy. Then I saw her laundry basket nearby. I picked up her pants and sure enough, cat hair inside the legs. Like they'd been yanked off her and tossed. Her shirt had cat hair too. And on the back, a stain any man would recognize. I told her I was going to get it tested. I still haven't, but I kept the shirt. Even after all this, I know she's seen him since. I've seen messages. Overheard conversations between her and her family. Heard the cruel things she said about me. I've started the legal process. I've met with a lawyer. But I feel so alone. Just yesterday, she was at his place again. Then came home like everything was fine. My oldest daughter knows something's wrong. I can see it in her eyes. I gave my wife 5 months. 5 months to try to come back, to save our family. I even told her if she wanted to keep sleeping with him, I'd accept it, if she was honest with me. But she still thinks I don't know. Still believes it's a secret. She has no idea how much I've uncovered. I'm exhausted. I'm heartbroken. I've already taken on the role of a single parent. My girls are the only thing keeping me grounded right now. I've had dark thoughts. Angry ones. About him. About exposing her. About telling her boss once the divorce is finalized. But I won't act on them. Because my daughters need me. If you've made it this far, thank you. I needed to get this off my chest. If you have advice, I'd appreciate it. If not, thank you for listening. Because of her, I don't trust people anymore. Because of him, I battle rage every day. But because of my daughters, I'm still standing. Thanks again for reading. I truly hope your year is going better than mine.